maybe the reason why we are hearing that Nnamdi Kanu has turned down the federal government visit, high-profile visit to Sokoto prison to brief him on the development of how they are intend to, arrive at a dialogue. But it looks like Nnamdi Kanu actually rejected that offer with billions reportedly attached to it. That shows Mazi Nnamdi Kanu maybe he has information, the report that came from UK that federal government go back to Mazi. We would as well as be feeling a little bit disappointed now that the UK cannot offer anything when they run into UK. They are still referring Nigerian government as a Nnamdi Kanu. A failed negotiation in Sokoto, and of course, the fate. What do you think should be the fate? What should we think of the federal government of Nigeria be thinking about now? Considering the fact that like the whole world is getting different attention.
100 million was being given to Mazen Kanu. 100 million was being given to Kanu to meet with the president in regards to the upcoming discussion of Biafra at the Israel parliament. The president is scared. That was why the president last week had to rush down to UK to meet King Charles, to meet Ken Starmer, UK Prime Minister. But he was actually turned down. He was told to come back home and resolve it with Mazen Kanu, knowing fully well that the struggle is here. Knowing fully well that the struggle is beyond Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The struggle is beyond Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The struggle has gone so global to the international community. Knowing fully well that what they did was against international law. That Kanu was kidnapped. Kanu was never extradited. And now the whole thing has boomeranged. And now everybody is now trying to play safe. Everybody is now trying not to get themselves attached to the processes that led to the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. As I'm speaking to you now, Justice Omotosho, the US government has placed a visa ban on Justice Omotosho for that illegal judgment, saying that before you sentence an accused person, the person is supposed to give his or her own final verdict, sorry, final remark in court. But Kanu was disenfranchised from giving his own remarks in court, yet you went ahead to sentence him. And now we've seen that see, as of today, at the US parliament, at every point in time, the Biafra struggle is being discussed, and the Igbo genocide has become, since December, has become a very so has become a regular subject matter that is even discussed more in the US parliament than the US government discussing their own internal issue. Everything that has always been discussed from November till date has been on the premises of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the Igbo genocide, and that push alone has been is has now been scared into the villa that now President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had to send delegates to Asodok prison to see Mazi Kanu, but Kanu rejected those that came to him, that it was a high profile persons. The Shehu of Borno was among those delegates sent to meet Kanu for him to accept one Nigeria. This is a man who has said that he will fight Biafra with every struggle of his life. And now there were reports that it was even the president himself that went to Sokoto prison to see Kanu, and Kanu still turned down the offer, knowing fully well Kanu's worth. knowing fully well that it is Biafra or nothing. That has always been the stance of Mazen Kanu. He has always said that it is Biafra or nothing. That he cannot sell something that is so priceless to him, and everybody cannot be like Sunday Igboho, who claim to be a freedom fighter, but yet rejects, but yet sold out his people in exchange of money. And then he claimed to be a freedom fighter. So these are two different individuals. In this struggle, Kanu lost his father, he lost his mother, he lost virtually everything he stood for, he lost virtually everything he has worked for. So there is no amount of bribe that would get Kanu at this particular time. No amount of bribe, because he said he believed in the struggle and he will do everything possible for him to achieve this struggle. He will do everything possible for him to achieve the struggle. And then, as of today, the struggle is gaining momentum, not even in Nigeria, but outside the shores of the country. That outside the shores of the country, that we have the Israeli parliament and the US Congress, and Kanu was even honored. So, so, so the president, no matter how the president intend to do it, one Nigeria can never and would never be sustainable, because we've had lot of injustice against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let's not forget that Sunday Igboho committed the same offence, but today, because we have a Yoruba president and Sunday Igboho is not from the Igbo extraction, he has been let go. But Kanu, who is from the Igbo extraction, has been sentenced to life imprisonment without any facts. They allege that Kanu sponsored EndSARS, and Kanu tell them that where is evidence? That is why he said, Omotosho, show me the law that someone who was illegally rendition, someone who was kidnapped from Kenya, you have no judicial rights to try him in your law court. Take him back to Kenya. So in all of this, what they are doing, they've seen the handwriting, that no matter how they intend to do it, that the Biafra struggle is here, and that is why they are doing everything possible to go and plead with Kanu for him to what, because it is only Kanu that can write a letter to the US government, and the US government would acknowledge it. It is only Mazen Kanu that can write a letter to the Israeli parliament, and the Israeli parliament would acknowledge all of this. And that is why Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going around looking for people to speak to beg Kanu. He has sent delegates. He refused. He went there himself. Kanu declined him. Kanu declined him that avenue to meet with him. So now, so as it stands now, there is nobody that can say that the struggle is not real, because it is a clear indication, and then it is a clear pathway that the Biafra struggle is here.
Okay, looking at that conclusion we have like this, and what we are talking about now is federal government have turned down completely. Now that the Martin actually turned federal government down, half of their problem automatically outside to navigate across all over the world. Do you think that Martin Kano at this point Serious debt.
For now he has turned down everything that has to do with finance, and then the we know the gravity of this implication. By turning down that, I think he should be very very careful with the people he mingles with, and he should be very very careful with what he eats in Sokoto prison, because the same treatment that was given to Malafia, who had an altercation, who had issues with the federal government under Buhari era, and when he was released he went home and then he was spied. But I think Kanu case is very more delicate, in the sense that Kanu is a global renowned person. Kanu has the influence across the shores of Nigeria. So I think the Nigerian government would be very very careful not to try to hurt Kanu, knowing the danger behind that. That if this person drops dead inside the prison, you know there will be a major uprising that might eventually balkanize the country. So the federal government is being careful. A man that could write letter and the US government acknowledge it, shey na that kind person you wan come kpai? I go lie for you. A man who has been a man that now Ibrahim Traore said he should go and be studied, that see he himself, that Kanu is his role model. A man that all his life he has been discussed at the UK parliament, and now Israel has taken the same steps. It shows that Kanu is not just a pushover, as Saido Kubo tried it. He saw the outcome of it. So now the Nigerian government would not be so foolish to kpai Kanu.
Okay, talking about Asante Kubo, famous in Nnamdi Kanu, is Asante Kubo actually of Martin Nnamdi Kanu? Because it looks as if he has abandoned that struggle. Of course, because you actually
Saido Kubo is not a man or an individual to be taken very very serious. A man of double standard, a man who has no direct path, a man who can easily be bought. Shebi Kanu tested him in the early days of Mazi Kanu, in his struggle. He wanted to join Kanu, but Kanu saw that this man cannot be trusted, and it was the reason why Kanu pushed him aside. And ever since then, he has proven to be inconsistent. He has proven to be unstable. He has proven that he cannot be trusted. He has proven it, that this man himself is a man that should never and would never be trusted. And today we are seeing all the implications. And what he said about Nnamdi Kanu, he said Kanu uses the money for his struggle to like enrich himself. And Kanu has told him that even before I came into this struggle, I was a billionaire, and I am still a billionaire. So if Kanu can turn down offers from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who the hell is as Asante Kubo? He wants to take glory of what he did not start. He wants to take glory of what he did not fight for. So no matter how we tend to picture it or look it, I can bet my chest and say that nobody can stop the rising sun, because the rising sun is here already. The struggle is here. Everything every damn thing that has to do with Biafra is here, and I can bet you that it has been achieved. It has been achieved.
what is your conviction? What are you actually seeing
I
that is giving you this conviction?
Israeli, the prime minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, has said is coming to save the Jewish Igbos who are his who are his kinsmen, who are his brothers. That alone is a very good signal. And Trump is more particular, is more concerned about the killing of Christians. And who brought that to the attention of President Trump? It is Nnamdi Kanu. So with these two, even at the Indian parliament, Kanu is being discussed. Even at the Indian parliament, Kanu is being discussed. So it shows, that this guy has gotten to the peak of whereby the Nigeria, even the Nigerian government is scared of him. They are scared because they don't know what tomorrow will be. That next week might be the final balkanization of Nigeria, because if the US Congress, if the Israeli Congress and the US Congress unanimously agree, I can bet you Nigeria is gone.